Welcome back to the Palazzo, and as you can see, it is not summertime anymore. Today I share with you all of the projects of the externals we've been busy working on, all spurred on by a rather scary event. And with the cozy Italian sun burning off that morning fog and this dramatic change of season, it's the perfect moment to share the scale of the challenge that's ahead of us. The receding summer overgrowth of this 4 hectares or 10 acres of parkland has revealed some incredible historical treasures that I get to share with you for the very first time. Also coming up, a brand new lighting scheme, the revival of original external features, and our efforts to secure the property in the wake of a near miss. But first, turning back the clocks to midsummer when we first moved into this abandoned Italian palace. The first thing we did after those initial efforts to clear the collapse of the long south garden as shown in episode 2 was to add lighting wherever possible to the externals, reviving some of the old lanterns and otherwise placing hidden modern spotlights. And although time-consuming, the ability to lay what seemed to be kilometers of naked external cables to wherever we wanted to place lighting made achieving some incredible results pretty straightforward. Our 2 guardians and the beautiful folly at the end both sing with their own nighttime beauty. But so too now does the facade of the Palazzo. And I always find that walking around monumental cities at nighttime when they're uplit, it highlights the architectural features so much more. And I'm so happy we were able to achieve that here too. And of course the irony is it's so much easier to bring external lighting than it is to the interior where everything needs to be more carefully planned. And so depending on the part of the Palazzo, we're still poking around the corridors with torchlight at night, but at least the externals radiate light. Now, living in a palazzo can bring many points of anxiety, but perhaps none more so than that of security. And with so many things that can go bump in the night, today's video sponsor eufy gave us the security upgrade that we needed, and we've actually been using them for a few years across our different projects, thanks to the flexibility of their solar-powered system. But we've been invited to test the brand new eufyCam S4 range, a big upgrade as you can see, and the results are fascinating. The large solar panel and 10,000 mAh quick swap battery means that it'll work pretty much anywhere so long as it's in range of your Wi-Fi, thanks to that constant generation of backup power on sunny days. So let's put it to the test with the vast expanse of the south garden, and as you can see, the 4K fixed lens can be used to direct the tracking camera to provide excellent detail even in low light anywhere that's needed, with the 2 cameras on the movable section providing up to 8x zoom. But the real power of this tech is its ability to give you 360-degree automated coverage, as you can see with our testing at the gate, with the AI tracking monitoring those who enter and the fixed lens keeping a view of the approach. But what about areas of your property with no direct sunlight? Well, also on offer is the S4 Max, eufy's first power over Ethernet NVR system. If you're looking for a more stable and professional security experience, this wired option will give you 24/7 recording with up to 16 terabytes of local storage. But with its hybrid triple lens cameras, otherwise exactly the same, you can already see how excellent it is at covering corners, of which there are many at this property. And with its ability to monitor 2 angles simultaneously, we need only half the amount of what we would from another brand. Click the link in the description below to enjoy the peace of mind that comes with the eufy S4 ecosystem. Now, before we move on to the event which triggered this renewed focus on the externals and our security, I want to bring to the front a few of the more characteristic details and more enjoyable moments of this process. I'll hand over to M, who will give you a brief explanation of his work to these monumental lanterns that we discovered either side of the main doors.
I'm undoing decades of overgrown of this vine and this wisteria because they had completely enveloped the old lanterns that were on the facade. As you can see here, the wood almost fused with the old wrought iron of these lanterns, and so I'm trying to open them back up and rewire them so that we can restore them back to what they used to be. So over here, now that the lantern is all freed up from the vines, you can see it's got the central body and it's got the old electric wire, which of course is not usable anymore, but it used to be snaking around the body of the lantern. So what we'll do is we'll do the same thing. We'll simply replace this for a wire that's up to modern standard.
With those frosted glass globes added, M completed the rejuvenation of this aspect of the facade by clearing the old terracotta herringbone walkways. And just for the briefest of moments, it felt like we had restored the old glory of this area. The look was finished up by adding this third light to the upper balcony to create a harmonized triangular effect when all of them are turned on. These sculptural trees that we picked up locally just for €30 a piece helped add a sense of intentionality and offering just a whisper of how it was in its heyday. Now, let me take you to a place I have never brought you to before, which is the underground area of the Palazzo, which plays host to a treasure trove of old artifacts of formerly used decorative elements that once adorned parts of the palace, including this plinth, which was super heavy despite its relatively small size, made out of solid sandstone. We wheeled it along the driveway to the gateway to the Palazzo to create a new monument of sorts to welcome guests who would come to visit us.
Done.
And with the ground leveled and the base secured in place with infill of heavy stone, here you can see what it was all for. We added this enormous, almost human height and rather heavy post box, which we picked up secondhand in Milan. And this being one of the first jobs that we did after we moved in, it helped communicate to anyone passing by that for the last generation had gotten used to this palazzo being abandoned, that there was now new life living within it. And with that cemented in place, we'll be returning to it in just a moment to reassess the damage done by a devastating event that caught us completely out of left field. And I must say, the camera didn't even begin to capture the gravity of what that storm felt like. I have never experienced anything quite like it. But the damage was all clear to see the very next day all throughout the Parkland. There were severely collapsed trees. And while we are so fortunate that the house was not damaged, the gates on the other hand took a direct hit, and it was a reminder of the power of Mother Nature. You wouldn't have thought it, but even this pretty small tree forced the gate open, bending and twisting the metalwork as it went, and it completely destroyed the recently installed automatic opening mechanism. It took us a better part of a week to resolve it, and there is still some damage to the decoration of the gate that needs to be addressed. As calmer weather and peace returned to the Palazzo, it was a reminder that as we transitioned into autumn, that our fortunes could still flip on a dime in a place where so much was dependent on the will of good fortune and Mother Nature. And with these beautiful, rich colours of autumn, the pleasant side of Mother Nature revealed herself to us. And by the way, what are these beautiful creatures? Are they deers? Well, we also need to name them, so comments down below. But with the falling leaves and the receding overgrowth, we could see these two long corridors, these green tunnels that were once designed and presumably curated either side of the long south garden to provide a shaded way to then reach the folly and the greenhouse at the end of it. And being able to both see and discuss this allows me to now share with you the original plans of the entire Parkland and to make sense of them. Here we can see the satellite view with the original plans overlaid on top. That long south garden you can see there was done in the Italian style, complemented by a much smaller parterre French garden with ornamental quadrants. That's since been utterly lost to overgrowth. The rest of the Parkland was done in the English style, a naturalistic undulation of green grass and trees. Now on the upper right side, you'll see a small lake, a tennis court, and its hexagonal tennis house. This is an area that we haven't been able to explore yet, but one place that we have, I'll be taking you to right now. Now I'm gonna have to be careful here because to reach this very special place in the Parkland, we're going to have to navigate these series of trees which are all in a state of near collapse and already have been losing a lot of these branches, especially in the storm that we had recently. So I'll get as close as I dare to show you what it is that we're hopefully going to be preserving and showcasing once we're able to make this area safe and prune these trees. I'm gonna have to actually zoom in because I can't get any closer, but you can just about see through there a railing. It doesn't look like much, but I'm gonna get a different angle and explain why this is so special. This here is called Garibaldi's Bridge because it dates from the mid 1800s to when the Kingdom of Italy unified the entire Italian peninsula into a single state, so the modern Italian state. Garibaldi, who drove that unification, he came to sojourn at this palazzo several times. He was friends with the owner at that moment. And this bridge was built in his honor and dates from that period. And so it doesn't look like much now. I don't think it even looks all that stable. But this used to be the absolute centerpiece of the garden, and you can only imagine with it being fully open with just a few canopy trees around, and then the rest of it just sweeping, rolling green grass and lawn. That was the original intention. And I'm showing you this because you can understand just how far things have deteriorated. This is the best spot to really imagine what once was, and the huge scale of the challenge that's ahead of us as a result. And so, with the need to form a plan and to generate the fairly extensive funds necessary to execute it, we attempted to see what we could do at least ourselves in the meantime to pare back some of the more dangerous branches. Okay, wait. Right. Cue two amateurs making absolute numpties out of themselves using a hack they saw on Instagram.
Bye.
Okay, well I got the baby branch. Eccomi!
Yes. Ooh, okay, how do you...
Okay, yeah, you're right. How do we get it? Maybe if I do it... There we go. Okay. Now this is meant to be a low effort system, or so we thought, with a chain which has a saw element to it, attached to two ropes either side, and you throw it over the relevant branches and you seesaw away. Yes! And while good fun and a pretty moronic but fulfilling bonding experience, it was highly inefficient. So much so that one of the ropes actually got tangled in one of the branches and remains there to this very day. As well, we got a few of the more dangerous branches, the vast majority remain. And through each window, we have this constant balance between this beauty created by the suffused sunset lighting and the underlying danger of this greenery being so close to this ancient historic monument. So in this coming period, we'll more seriously investigate the jobs we can do ourselves to mitigate the risk and of course involve the gardener for a more holistic pruning of the more dangerous trees where needed. But on balance, I feel we can be pretty contented with how far we've come in these first few short months, and I hope you'd agree. We use robots to automate the cutting of the grass. We have this fabulous new security system to give us complete peace of mind and coverage everywhere. And we've brought lighting to give a new, renewed dignity to both the greenery and facade of the palace. All of which allows us to sow the seeds of a rescue plan to revive the lost treasures hidden within the overgrowth. The only question is, which do we tackle first? Join us next week as we return to the interiors to one of the biggest transformations that we've been working hard at for these first 6 months of living here. I can't wait to show it to you. So make sure you're subscribed with the bell icon checked, and I'll see you then. From our little corner of the world of dreaming and delusion, love from Italy.